Hello and welcome to another Odyssey video. Today I'm going to be giving you some tanking tips in the new 8-man ops Assault and Battery. This has been out for a couple of weeks now, and I'm sure that the majority of us have gotten used to it, and we've got different formations that we use in a raid: 2 tanks, 1 tank, even 3 tanks on some occasions. But in this guide it's just going to be me solo tanking the instance. So as you can see here, we're in the first room of Assault and Battery, and I'm just about to attack Atrocitus. Normally I'm the first one into this room as soon as we do both sides of the corridor. I normally position myself on a teleporter here or in the middle to get the aggro of Atrocitus. The group is behind me where you talk to Hal Jordan as you enter the room, and here I can tank both of them. If you're lucky, the Green Lanterns will block off Atrocitus and Blaze so they can DPS him down without any problems. To make it easy for the group, I always try to separate Blaze and Atrocitus by standing in the middle of them, so the group can focus Blaze, but the splash damage will affect Atrocitus and his health is very low. Other than that, sometimes they will de-aggro and go to the group, but if you keep on applying your aggro, they will always turn back to your facing. Just be aware that Atrocitus, when he de-aggros, does like a tackle charge, and he does this 4 times. Also, he does like a jackhammer type of animation that can one-shot you, and when Blaze de-aggros, she will do like a hard light whip animation. So now we are on one of 2 bosses that you can face when you split up into 2 groups. The first one is on ranks. Here the Construct, I believe it's one of the most unique fight bosses in this ops. I haven't seen anything like this in the game for a long time, and it's definitely my favourite fight, this and the last one definitely. The Construct is a little bit unpredictable. He can go anywhere basically, so it's ideal for when the group is split up to be spread out, and to make sure that they avoid getting any damage. The tank can do either one of 2 things. It can either tank him in the middle, or it could tank him to the side, but again the Construct will de-aggro. So some of his mechanics are pretty basic. He will on occasion do a forward roll. He can go in any direction, and also he will split himself into smaller constructs. These are easy to take down. You can basically pull them all together so the DPS can take them down. But bear in mind, if they do go on a team member, they can one-shot him. They can one-shot them even. The Construct does brawling animation, so the PvP mechanics apply. So if you can block him, you can block break him, and you will get immunity. Other than that, it's pretty standard for the group to stay ranged, spread out, and for the tank just to keep on applying his aggro so that the group's protected. When if a group member is attacked by the Construct, make sure that again you try and get the aggro of the boss to turn him away so the group member can get away. It is ideal to have a healer in ranks because of the amount of damage this guy does. I mean, as you can see here, he's just done the forward roll and he's literally backed me up into a corner. So here is a good chance for me to keep him there, but as you can see, he's just rolled away. So pretty simple fight. You can get through it very quickly, no problem. Now the second group will be facing Lisa Drac in Metropolis. Lisa Drac is not the hardest boss in the instance at all. In fact, she's so easy you don't even have to take a healer, which we don't here. All you have to do with Lisa Drac is simply tank her on the node or tank her anywhere you want, and the group have to stay ranged and use their supply drops, colas, psychics backup just to get through this fight a lot quicker. Now as a tank, you can make life a lot easier for your group by blocking off Lisa Drac. You could use your backup, or you could use your sidekick, you know, just to give that that wall between you and the group. She is scripted to de-aggro, and when she de-aggros, she will use a whip animation on them. The group member can just simply roll out the way and avoid her attack. The second thing the group needs to be aware of is the orbital coming from the sky from ranks, and that's it really. The tank just needs to block off the path between the group and himself, and just simply keep on applying his aggro, and Lisa Drac will stay on him. Finally, we're at the last boss fight. One noticeable change you'll see is that I've taken Hard Light Shield out and I've replaced it with Frost Snipe. I'll explain why later in the fight. What I normally do when I enter the room is I begin to attack Sinestro at the top of the room here, as you can see. This does one of two things. It allows me to get his aggro straight away without him wandering about the room, and when Sinestro gets down to 75%, it allows me to get the aggro of Hank Henshaw straight away. Now, what will happen during the fight is Hank Henshaw will gradually de-aggro off you. You will be able to recognise this when a skull symbol appears above him. Occasionally Sinestro will de-aggro like he has here. So in order to get them back to the top of the room, I keep on applying a single target taunt. This is for one particular reason. If the manhunters are not grouped up like they are at the back of the room here, then you're going to need to use a single target taunt rather than an AoE taunt, such as Inescapable Stump or Backdraft. This will gradually get them back to you so you can tank them at the top of the room once again. It must be noted there are different tactics to this also. Sometimes groups will stun the manhunters at the top of the room, so this is where a single target is a must. But if they're dragged to the back of the room like we have in this video, then you can use a mixture of the single target taunt with the AoE taunt to keep them close to you. Other than that, it's just about blocking them off from the rest of the group, and the group staying as far back as possible and just DPSing them down. You can get immunity off these guys because they mainly use brawling attacks, so if you time your blocks well and your counters well, then you're going to be virtually invulnerable for most of the fight. So I hope this guide has helped. If you've got any questions about different tanking loadouts that I can help with, then put it in the comment section below. I will be getting around to doing a rage guide in the near future. Don't forget, make sure you have a single target taunt in your loadout to get the boss Sinestro and Hank Henshaw back if they're de-aggro off you and going to the middle of the manhunters. Thanks for watching.